Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Watson now to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. Back deep, Adam Jones. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker, trying to find a lane, but instead... And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
Leopard! Over!
Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Over! Gone!
On second down, Kelly. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Tiger.
Here's Watson, option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Denver getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On a crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans scoop it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Back 22. Back 22. Target.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now a handoff to Miller. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here's a give to Miller. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Black, no,
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn them yet another first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
On first down, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
down. Blue 80.
Watson on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Sewer Cravens in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Watson, and incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
On first down, it's Kelly. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on second is Watson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Come back.
Now a first down throw. Watson looking for the end zone. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, See if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
A play fake. Now Kelly. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Leopard!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go for the ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Vance Joseph making his mark. His guys will go on 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now Kelly throwing on 4th down. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit! Over! Slam! Over!
Now a handoff looking right. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This from 54 yards away. And McManus able to put it through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Watching that, Barney, Barney.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
No, check, Patriot, Patriot. Watching that, Barney, Barney. Watching that, Barney, Barney.
Kelly now on 3rd and 2. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Watching that, Barney, Barney. Leopard!
Now a first down throw. Kelly. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
To throw is Kelly. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. so many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 1st and 10, Kelly. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Kelly throwing again. And this is going to be incomplete. Thomas the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Kelly stripped. The ball is free. And the Texans scoop it. The big fella. And this results in 6. Touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Now Jones. And he's up across the 25. Down at the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble. And you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Down. Get the two, right? Hey, orange.
Now it's the backup Keenum. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Miller. And he's got some space here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with Miller. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A handoff running left is Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On third down, Miller. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Stand down. Hey, orange arm! Orange arm!
Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. This is Booker on the dump off. Finding room at the 30. And a loose football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. Room here to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your man. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Jam. 55, my God, 55.
And now they'll throw with Keenum. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Very left. Take 52 and 55, 52.
Working from the gun, Keenum. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
53. Hey, 52.
Play action. It's Keenum. Going for it all. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. On 1st and 10, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
Now Watson operating from the gun. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have broken the tie.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look close.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. A huge play there for Denver. 43 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
On 1st down, Keenum looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. A second down carry for Booker. And an alley to run. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Roger. Hey, 50.
Desperation time for Keenum on 4th. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Keenum now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
All right. Go, doctor. Roger.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
To throw is Keenum. And, a crusher. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
And some room to maneuver. And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. And even 40 yards. Back to throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, we're good.
And they'll run it here. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll look to throw. And he's got Hireman. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the...
And he's got it! It's caught for a touchdown! And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. McManus's point after is good, and it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it down.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Texans are going to win the football game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Ball.